You little brat. Sharp goes off on everyone. I don't know if I want to show this because I feel like he's going to be a kid about it, but let's listen in.
It's just me. I'll go against everybody, whatever. Shit, Sharp versus everybody at this point. And I know once I drop something like this, shit, I'll be waiting for niggas to like kind of respond and say, Sharp can't do this, can't do that. Shit, let's see.
If Sharp has so much value, if I was criminally undervaluing Sharp's potential, why doesn't he just do whatever he thought that he was capable of? Why doesn't he just do that without me? Why am I even a thought? You know? Like, let's take somebody else whose name you've thrown in the trick bag here, Mike Malak. Let's say that me and Mike Malak had, let's say, super hypothetical, let's say I discovered Mike Malak before Logan Paul, right? And let's say Mike Malak was doing interviews and content on No Jumper for a couple of years. And then I had let Mike Malak go, or things didn't work out, similar to you. Let's say it just didn't work out. What would he do? He would go forward, start his own shit, find a home on another channel, and he would never look back because he's a talented guy. This is the problem with Sharp. Let me just get this out before we even watch the rest of this. Let me tell you this about Sharp. When Sharp was on Soft White Underbelly, let's do a little science. Let's take a look here. Sharp Soft White Underbelly. This is the one where I found him. 6.7 million views. Goes on again. 4.3 million views. Goes on again. 1.3 million views. This is all before the conversation with a pimp. 1.3 million views. I didn't even realize he did this many appearances. Then he comes on No Jumper, right? 2.4 million views. Then okay. This is the first one, at least that I remember. Sharp spazzes out on New School OnlyFans pimp in front of his girl. 4.3 million views. Sharp tears into wannabe pimp for disrespecting the game. 5.2 million views. A lot of this stuff doesn't exactly show up in order when you search for it like that, but, you know, this one. This is like the full-length one of this. Sharp gets frustrated and ends porn star's interview early. That shit had like 1 million views. Shit with Kazumi. There's way more like this. Look, Sharp and... Oh, this is the reunite. This is where they reunited. Only had 500,000. But the one that they did initially, this is me, him, and Blue Jasmine. 2.3 million views. There's way more, too. I don't even remember this one. Tatiana Vidalia. Oh, yeah, this is like his homegirl. Even this did 400K. This was like a girl that he just like knew from the scene. Sharp with Kazumi and Emma Magnolia. 2 million views. I say all that to say, the problem is Sharp started to believe that he was a 1 million view guy. And I'm sure you can all guess what I think of that. You know who's a 1 million view guy? Charleston White. And even him, I'm not going to go into full detail about this, but even Charleston White interview. I'm going to go into full detail about this. Look, Say Cheese, 1.4 million views on an hour and a half long Charleston White interview. Okay, fair enough. Danza Project, 9 days ago, 293K. I'm saying he's a 1 million view guy, but look, 9 days ago, 70K on some random channel, M3S3. I don't know them necessarily. 4 weeks ago, Bad Speakers TV, 619K. Not exactly 1 million, but pretty close. Danza oh, that's Lil Woody. Never mind. Look, even, oh, no, that's Never mind. That's Lil RT and Lil Woody. Why are they doing a 20 versus 1 together? Oh my God. I say all that to say, even somebody as huge as Charleston White gets 1 million views quite often when he drops with Sean Conn, right? That's kind of like his home channel since he doesn't really have like a main channel for himself anymore at this point. Being a 1 million view guy is serious, right? You know, and sometimes it's like the context because like I went on Flagrant a couple of years ago, boom, we got 1 million views, 1 million plus views. Somebody like Academics, I think his first time on Flagrant, he got 4 million views or some shit like that. It's like a lot of times when like you could be someone who's famous like me or Ak, Vlad, etc. You go on a platform, you can get like millions of views because they are excited to see you and the hosts of that show together, right? But like I'm not under the illusion that I'm a 1 million view guy. I know I'm not going to go hop on somebody's podcast and they're going to get 1 million views unless they're so big that people are excited to see us together, right? When Sharp was going on Software Underbelly initially, he was getting millions of views because he was interesting, but not in the way of like, oh, we want to watch this guy every day for the rest of our life or even multiple times a week. No, he was interesting in the sense of like, whoa, this is like a real scumbag pimp dude. He's interesting. But, you know, ultimately, it's like, are these really your fans? I mean, I don't think so. Then he goes to No Jumper, starts doing all this content with, you know, the Kazumis and the Blue Jasmines, et cetera. The world starts doing millions of views, right? Because people are interested to see him having conversations with girls. But then even beyond that, like I could play you any three, watch this. I could play you any tiny little chunk of this Sharp Big Chutch. I'm gonna just pick
Nice
a
to meet you,
random
baby.
moment. Look,
It was tell her to
Ask me
snag a
something.
business from a
Ask
nigga.
me
That's all you
something.
said was to
I just
snag a
told the
business
bitch,
from a nigga.
why are we even
That's all
listening?
you said.
We're gonna pivot now because see now you're starting to. It seems
I
like
was to be
did the
talking
bitch
to the
send
bitch in
you?
that way,
Did
no,
the bitch send
not
you?
at all.
I'm trying to figure out the Blue Jasmine. Hey, Laura, is Blue Jasmine?
I told you
I'm
about
just
the
looking
digital
at you
pivot.
funny.
Cause you ain't letting niggas say shit.
You ain't talking
all
about
you do is
shit. I
ask
just
shit
want
and then
the-
make personal
want the
attacks.
bitch.
All I'm
She
doing is
mad.
saying
She
it for
don't
what
even
it,
wanna
and now
be
he
here.
see,
Baby,
and
I'm
now
so
he's not gonna
sorry
talk
for
to
you.
me.
Hey,
See,
mama.
now he's not. Now he's not.
Hey,
See,
mama.
what's up,
and whenever
quality?
you confronted with
I
what the
apologize.
fuck
You
you
gotta deal
do,
with this.
like even in this like random little chunk that we just picked up, he just like explained the whole deal. Like, yeah, you're doing personal attacks and you won't let me talk. Like we just randomly picked a moment in this that he's like making more sense than Sharp.
whenever you get,
I do.
whenever
Hey,
you
mama,
get from,
when you want to get about them rainy days, when you want to get about them rainy days and get away from that bullshit.
Oh, it's sunny.
And
It's
somebody,
sunny every
hey,
day.
somebody gonna show you.
Like think about what he's even saying. Like she, at least based on what I remember, she was like reasonably successful at this point on OnlyFans, right? She was like, I don't know, probably making like, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month off OnlyFans. And this guy, Big Church, is basically like her OnlyFans manager, right? Sharp is telling her that she could be more successful if she came to him and became a streetwalker. Who does this make sense to? Let's say hypothetically this was your daughter. Would you rather she be with this guy who, granted, you know, he's got the cringy Versace shirt, he's got this weird flat top. I don't really understand this aesthetically or culturally, right? But, you know, he's the OnlyFans pimp. He's helping manage her OnlyFans. I mean, it's like a valid occupation. This is basically what I've done with girls in the past. It's not inherently predatory. And then you got this guy telling her that she should give up on all that to come walk the blade. He's like denouncing OnlyFans management, which like, okay, sure. But you're not really like making a better pitch in comparison. You're basically just telling this guy that he's a loser because he's managing OnlyFans, and you're telling her that she's a fucking idiot for not walking the track for you. Come on.
Forcefully shook my hand, gang. It was after that Vlad shit.
I love that his editor, to be totally fair, my editor should be doing this as well. His editor will take the massive gaps in his speech and edit them out. That is valuable. Because this motherfucker on stream from some other clips I've seen, he's not terribly like respectful of your attention span. He'll say something and he'll sit there, smoke a cigarette, sip his drink. 45 seconds later, he says something else that's like almost identical to the thing that he previously said.
It's like, hey, I'm tired of Sharp having action or getting these just that I've been wanting to have that, nigga. After that, you really took a turn.
There was never a moment in which you ever had anything going on content-wise that I was in any way jealous of or envious of. He is right. He is right about one thing. I was not happy about Sharp going to war with Ak. You want to know why? Is because you are so not on academics' level of conversation and analysis that I already knew you were destined to lose. I knew you had no chance. Duh. You can barely fucking speak English, never mind string a coherent point together. Why would I want to see somebody who's on my team, who I'm keeping around, but I'm not exactly 100% confident in his ability to defend himself with words? Why the fuck would I want to see that person go to war with somebody like Ak, who at the time I had a strong relationship with? Well, we're still cool, but like at the time we were in a good place. Why would I want to see you choose that battle when I know that you don't, it's not going to go your way? I was looking out for you. The same exact reason why I didn't want to DM Drake. I was looking out for you. I knew you were going to look like a fucking moron if I hit up Drake and said, hey, did you really shout this guy out in your song? If I had asked Drake that at the time, he probably would have not responded, and that would have left everything kind of, you know, we wouldn't have had a definitive answer. But, the reason why I was talking with Charleston White before and stuff is because Sharp had this artificial boost on the Software Underbelly channel, and then he had another artificial boost from yelling at girls, right? And once that hype subsided and he started trying to basically do what I was doing and like, you know, just have regular sit down conversations, he ceased to have any sort of heat around him. He had no ability to draw in an additional audience, which is clear because when you look at his streams and the number of views that they do, it's not terribly impressive, right? He hates that. He can't deal with the fact that he's not a 1 million view guy. He's not even an 100,000 view guy by himself. And he hates that because during that Software and Underbelly part of his life, like think about how, go back and watch my first interview with Sharp. He was happy, sunny, cheerful. There's so much distance between that and what you see now from him. You know, it's just not even close. And it kills him. It eats him alive that he once was able to consistently bring in a large audience and that audience has moved on.